Diane in Denmark here. Are you ready for another little declutter session? I hope you're not bored with these by now, but February is the month and the Flylady habit is decluttering for 15 minutes a day. If you can't do 15 minutes, 10 is good. If you can't do 10 minutes, even 5 is good. And I hope you're beginning to see some progress. I mean, you've seen me, I've been decluttering the basement and you've seen things going, and you know the wall is now come down. Just get a bag, you know, if you can have bags ready to make it easier for yourself. I've got the bin, I've got a bag for giveaway, and obviously what you're going to keep. So it's always kind of giveaway, put away and throw away, and please recycle when possible. Now this video that you're seeing today, it's not going to be in order because I made a video today, but you know, I just kind of film them as the mood takes me, and I've got a wee bit of time before I make dinner, and I just wanted to share with you. I was down here, I'm not going to be decluttering from here, you'll see that in another video, but I needed something from our dressing up boxes. Now we have two big dressing up boxes like this. They're both this size, and I was looking for the little crown, you know, for carnival. Now by the time you see this video, carnival in Denmark will have been over. Anyway, I was looking for the little crown that the Queen of the Cats or the King of the Cats gets. And normally, you know, I've got these two big dressing up boxes. I love dressing up and I love fancy dress parties. And, you know, I've just been putting everything into them, and my son is now at the age where he's at high school, and, you know, when your kids are small, they dress up for Halloween and they dress up for carnival. And then they get to that kind of mid-teens age where, oh no, they're not dressing up at all. And then they go back to it again where it's kind of cool to be dressed up and they have theme parties. So, and I took out these boxes and I realised we have got stuff that probably doesn't fit them anymore. So what I did was I decluttered the box, and I went through and I took out anything you're about to see which is kind of too small for them. Now the things that we have kept, let me just pop it here. Oh, out of the way. And this is the thing, when you're decluttering, it's really good to get round. Oh, hold on, let me just fix my jumper. It's really good to go round again, and you know, when you're in zone 3, which is the bathroom and one other room, maybe down in the basement you've got some fancy dressing up boxes, or maybe in the kids' bedrooms. Maybe it's a good time to take a wee look and see what's in there, because things like this, now this is a kind of onesie that my daughter bought. I can't remember the name for it. It's one of the Japanese ones. She wants to keep that, and oh, that's fine, hold on, let me just put this before it lands on my head. That's fine. And obviously we've got various wigs, and we've got my kind of flapper costume for whenever I go to fancy dress. I always try and go as thoroughly modern Millie. And then we've got things that we always keep, like the Viking helmet. I mean, we are in Denmark, so we've kept all that stuff, and that's well and good. But we had an awful lot of things that we have got over the years, like this. We're not needing to keep that for dressing up. So let me just get my bag. So I've got it all ready for the charity shop. There was this one, and then there was also some hats, clowns. Now, you know what, I really don't like clowns, and we had these two clown hats, and we've had those since the kids were at nursery. Was it nursery? Yeah, they were at nursery, and I was on the party committee, of course, organising the parties, and we had various themes, and one year it was circus, and so, you know, I was wearing like the clown hat, and I've kept the red noses for the clowns, but those can go now, and also they're a bit small, and the kids don't want to dress up as clowns. So those could go, and I checked all this stuff with my daughter because, you know, maybe she wanted to keep it, but you know, my kids, I think I've taught them really well. They are much better at me than at getting rid of things and not holding on to things. You know, You know, my dad, as I've told you before, he would keep any kind of papers, and I've kind of grown up with that, and I feel this kind of physical need to hang on to every single piece of paper. But thanks to the Flylady system, I'm kind of dealing with it. But I've taught my kids really well, and they're much better at kind of letting things go. And what else did we have? Oh yeah, well, we had like this kind of Mary Quant type of belt, but actually it's a wee bit nippy. Even can I get it around my waist? Because I've got a tiny waist but a big hips. No, that's going to go out as well. And as I said to you, that I'll be uploading this video when we're in zone 3. But I want to take this bag to the charity shop tomorrow so that they can get it for Danish carnival. And then there was this jester hat, and I think these ones, and they're quite small, I can kind of get it on my hand. These ones came from a big brother in Scotland who always brings the weirdest stuff over, and all the kind of inflatable Christmas things. But anyway, the kids don't want to wear them anymore. They're not going to, and they're not needing to dress up as jesters. So those are going to, and some kid is going to love getting this hat. So those, they also make an awful lot of noise. So those are going. So let me just get them into the bag so I'm all ready to take them to the charity shop. And then we had, oh, this fancy top. It's kind of garish top, but I had bought this at a charity shop for dress up. I can't remember what I paid for it. It was really cheap. And my daughter actually did wear this when she was about, I think she was about 7 or 8 at school, and she had, you know, a microphone and a wig, and she was like, I think she was like a pop star, you know, and shiny leggings. But anyway, she doesn't want to keep that, so that's going to go. And one more, and look, empty, a whole empty box. So we've just got one box of dressing up stuff, which is fine. And funnily enough, my DS18, my dear son 18, he said to me, oh, they're having another party at high school. Not at our house, because, you know, we've just had the 3 parties. And the last one we had 75 teenagers here. They're having the next party that they have at high school is a theme one, and it's probably Pirates of the Caribbean, so it's a good job that I've got the eye patches, and I've got a little neckerchief with a pirate symbol on it, and a couple of plastic knives that actually make, you know, daggers that make noise, that he had when he was a kid. So it's good that I kept some of this stuff. And this is a dress that we kept for dressing up. Now this is a dress that I wore. Can you see what the make is? I bought it in Fraser's department store, which is it was quite posh department store in Edinburgh, at the west end of Edinburgh. And I remember buying this dress because I bought it for a special occasion. I must have been about 19 or 20. I was going to something fancy, and this was like my first really kind of swanky dress. And I remember getting dressed and coming down the stairs at home in Edinburgh, and my dad thought I just looked so beautiful, and I was all kind of dressed up, and because I was not a tomboy, but you know, when I was at school, I was really into music. I was a punk, so I wasn't kind of into fancy dresses, and I've never been able to have long hair, so I always looked a bit boyish. So he thought I looked fantastic in this. But anyway, I had kept it because I sometimes used it for dressing up as a kind of princessy thing, and then my daughter used it, but you know, nobody wants it now, so that is going out too. So it's kind of been a bit of a trip down memory lane looking at this stuff. But you know what? I have the memories. I don't need to keep the things. And that's it. And if you are having trouble with getting rid of stuff because you still want to be able to see it, then, you know, go ahead, you know, take a picture with your camera. You can upload it. You can do online scrapbooks, so you don't actually have to have the physical item. You know, I mean, I remember my dad looking at me in this dress and thinking I look so good. But I don't need to hold on to the dress. You know, I've got plenty of other things from my dad, and I don't need to keep this dress, and somebody else will enjoy it. So anyway, so all these things, hooray! Look at that. This big bag is going to the charity shop, and it's just in time for carnival because everybody will be out looking for cheap dress-up stuff this weekend. So that's my go me. I'm doing a kind of good job by passing them on to somebody else. And as I say, I've managed to free up a whole box. Look at that. Look at that. So I'm getting on really well with it. So again, I just want to encourage you to, even if you've only got 5 or 10 minutes, just set your timer. Here's my timer. I didn't even set my timer today. I've been talking for, yeah, we've done it 10 minutes. Just set your timer for 10 minutes, and as long as you're set up, you know, make sure that you've done your morning routine and your evening routine. Don't do any decluttering until you've done those, because the routines, you know, getting dressed to shoes, making sure you know what's for dinner, looking out for your outfit for tomorrow, those are the things that kind of set you up, and then you've kind of got the mental energy, the extra energy to, you know, work for 10 or 15 minutes with your timer. And as I said, if you can't do 15 minutes, don't worry about doing 15 minutes, just do, you know, 5 minutes. As I've told you before, I used to be one of the mentors with Flylady Premium. And I won't mention any, but one of the really lovely ladies that I worked with, she had real trouble getting started. I mean, really kind of, she wasn't digging her heels in because, you know, she was rebelling against it. It was just a physical thing. She just couldn't get started. And I said to her, you know what, you don't need to do, you know, it was all or nothing with her, the same with all of us. And I said, just do 2 minutes. So, and I think it was kitchen, it must have been kitchen week, it must have been zone 2. So she did, and she sent me a picture afterwards. She went off and she did the 2 minutes, and she had just opened a kitchen drawer and stood there and focused and thought, you know, I can do 2 minutes. You know, she didn't feel like she should do more than that. She did the 2 minutes, and she sent me a photo, and she had managed to get to release half of the things that were in that kitchen drawer. You know, I can't remember what it was, but it was probably things like, you know, she maybe had 5 spatulas and some vegetable peelers that didn't work. And that was a revelation to her that, you know, she loved the Flylady system, but she had chosen that system and felt like she had to do it exactly like Flylady does it. Flylady, she's just giving you the idea of how to do these things. It's the same with KonMari. And I love the KonMari book, but KonMari doesn't work for me. You know, the declutter all the books in one go, that doesn't work for me. But, you know, the rolling of some of clothes, things like that. So you just take from different systems. You know, I use the Getting Things Done system as well. So don't feel like, oh, if I'm not doing the 15 minutes every day, I'm not doing Flylady properly. The only thing that you can do wrong is not to do anything. Just set your timer even for 1 minute and see what you can do. I mean, you've seen me working for 10 or 15 minutes at a time, and things, you know, things are disappearing, you know, like snow off a dike. Anyway, I'm going to stop it there because I've got a bag to put into the car to take to the charity shop. But anyway, just a rah for you if you've been working along with me. And live long and prosper. May the hooga be with you, and I shall see you very soon. And there will probably be some decluttering involved. Okay, that's for me. Bye for now.